Scrap begins to fidget, the oversized gems begging him to come and get them. He rolls over various strategies in his head, trying to rationalize a solid plan to extract them, trying to pit his reason against his impulse. His better judgment wins out over the alluring prize in the room ahead, just barely.
I gets a funny feeling about those gems. We comes back for them later. Let's seek out this treasury.
Ah, so you've got sense to ye after all. This way, lads.
Crag, you takes the lead.
Suits me fine. Let's go see what this so-called guardian is all about. The party heads back to the rancid larder. Scrap approaches the door to the south, thief's tools in hand. He pulls out 2 long, thin metal tools and inserts them into the keyhole.
Look at the way his tongue hangs out when he's concentrating.
Yeah, like a pet dog. I once heard that dragons sometimes keep kobolds as pets.
I've heard servants, but I suppose pets aren't out of the question. It'd be kind of like having a pet lizard, a rat, monkey.
After a few moments, there's a rusty metallic sound of the lock being forcibly opened. Scrap holds up one of his implements, which is starting to get bent out of shape.
These locks not too nice on me lockpicks.
Ah, damn. Are your tools ruined?
Almost.
Worry about that later. We've got the treasury ahead.
I got the lead. Come on. As the party moves forward, there's a set of stone steps descending down some 25 feet into a flooded area. It is a large rectangular chamber with high ceilings supported by pillars. Water drips down from the ceiling, causing steady ripples in the murky surface below. The steps go straight into the water, which appears to be at a level of about 3 feet. Crag and Derivar, with their lanterns and the aid of their low-light vision, can see about 2/3 of the room.
What do you see?
The room looks like it's starting to wear down. One of the pillars has come down, and there, signs of damage all over the place. Looks like a ways through. The water's getting deeper. And look there on that wall. It's the mosaic mural that Felix had mentioned. This room is mighty dangerous, lads. It was not built properly. The strain that this underground waterway is causing makes this place liable to collapse.
Great. What are we supposed to do?
Just don't go getting too rowdy, and we should be fine.
There's who knows what lurking in that water, and we're not supposed to get too rowdy?
Yes. Well, no. I mean, just be as careful as you can.
Whatever that means. Well, come on. Crag steps into the water, which is quite cold. He starts wading towards the eastern wall. Derivar follows in kind.
I hates to swim.
Scrap hesitates for a moment, then forces himself into the water. Due to his short stature, he has no choice but to swim. He trails behind his 2 larger companions, paddling like a dog. He looks around for any sign of the guardian that Felix warned about. His keen eyes scan the field of illumination provided by the lanterns his allies hold aloft. He notices nothing, but can't help but wonder what might be lying in wait in the darkness beyond. The 3 adventurers reach the eastern wall, which holds a large image fashioned with mosaic tile. The scene depicts a nighttime desert landscape, complete with rolling sand dunes and a crescent moon with stars nearby. Emerging from the land are triangular-shaped structures of stone, whose pointed tops jut into the midnight sky. Further down the wall, there are 2 sets of figures in the scene. One group wears cloaks and carries staffs and unknown religious symbols. The triangular structure behind them is guarded by a small troop of skeletal warriors. The other group is accompanied by beasts of burden, and they carry curved swords. The party moves southward to get a better look.
The scene is of the kingdom of Omtep, the distant land to the south. It is inhabited by the Trist, a desert-dwelling people. These buildings are known as pyramids. They serve as vaults, shrines, and massive tombs for kings and other powerful persons. The cloaked figures are priests of some sort, which appear to command the forces of life and death. The other group might be zealots coming to slay them. And there, they have camels with them. Ah!
Derivar's scream is cut short as a large, slimy tentacle shoots from the deep water and wraps around his body and neck, constricting powerfully. Scrap's eyes bug out in alarm at the sight. He draws his poisoned dagger and tries to cut at the tentacle wrapped around Derivar, but is unable to land the blade. He swims away, trying to get to the fallen pillar. From the deeper area of water, a second tentacle flings out at Crag. It whips, reaching for the half-orc's body, but he manages to dodge it by a hair's width. Derivar squirms as he is slowly crushed. The vice grip reduces his senses to a dazed state of struggle. Luck is with him this time, for he is able to wriggle out of the thing's death grip.
Ah! Get away from the deep water!
Derivar shouts as he wades hurriedly away from the underwater drop-off. Crag moves back some, then readies his weapon for any sign of the assailant. Scrap does the same, holding his dagger aloft while treading water. 1 second later, the thing bursts from the deep end into the shallow. Its form is a mass of writhing tentacles, 2 of which are noticeably larger than the others. They all seem to be connected to a central body of an indeterminate shape. The coloration of the creature is vague and translucent. Without hesitation, Scrap flings his dagger. The awkwardness of the throw, while swimming, is too much, and his poisoned dagger splashes into the water. The creature lashes out at Crag with a large tentacle. He claws with his dragon talons, attempting to meet the slimy appendage mid-flight. He connects with the rubbery flesh, and the impact sends the tentacle on retreat. Derivar is bewildered and tromps through the standing water, positioning himself behind Crag. He unleashes a mighty dwarven battle shout, fueled by bardic magic. The blast does not faze the creature.
The beast is too much! We must flee!
I'll hold it off for a second. Scrap swims quickly, out of the light, and clambers onto the first few steps, where he waits in the darkened stairway. Crag drops his lantern, which immediately goes out underneath the murky surface, and he readies an attack with both hands.
Come and get it!
The creature flails at him. Crag meets the tentacle head-on. His dragon claw slashes it, while his free hand grabs it in an arm lock. In one fluid motion, he spins his body, performing a feat of martial arts technique. The twisting maneuver flips the creature onto its side. Unfortunately for Crag, the tentacle still grabs back and coils itself around his torso. Derivar draws his warhammer and swings it at the tentacle, tethering Crag to the creature. His attack fails, and thus he moves back through the water. Scrap backs up a few steps, anxiously watching Crag struggle with the monster. Crag struggles painfully in the tentacled grasp, but cannot free himself. The creature takes a second to correct its orientation from Crag's attack, then pulls him fully into its writhing mass. Derivar uses bardic healing magic, which momentarily mitigates the crushing damage of the grab and brings Crag adjacent to the monster. The dwarf wades towards the steps, hoping that his ally will escape.
Come on, Crag! Break free!
Scrap is no longer able to see the struggle. Scrambling to think of anything that might help, he draws a dagger and coats it in Stormclaw scorpion venom, which is capable of rendering its victim immobile. Crag again tenses all the muscles in his body and rips at the constricting member. This time, he tears himself free. He begins dashing away from the beast, who seizes the opportunity to flail at its retreating prey with one of its smaller, quicker tentacles. The attack misses, and Crag galvanizes himself into sprinting through the water with all the survival instinct he can muster. The grotesque beast does not give chase and slinks back into the shadowed depths. The party dashes up the stairway into the stinking larder room and shuts the door. Scrap slumps, shivering and wet, on the floor.
Where's that god's forsaken dead pirate guy? If he's still here, I'm gonna shred him into splinters! Calm yourself, Crag. It was your idea to go down there, dwarf. You almost got us killed.
Crag grabs Derevar by the collar of his overshirt.
Now wait a minute. How was I supposed to know what was down there? Take your hands off me.
Let him go, Crag. I no hire you to attack our own party.
Crag irritatedly lets go of the dwarf.
This is the worst job I've ever taken. Hired by a yapping lizard to search through a crumbling ruin of certain death.
Crag looks for something to destroy. He spots a half-rotted barrel, brings his dragon claw down on it, and smashes it violently.
You keep this up, I no pays you.
Yeah, well, if I leave, you two might as well leave too. You'd both be dead without me. Derevar, sensing the tension growing thick, tries to calm his party.
Come now. We're all on edge here, and for good reason. Let's not take it out on each other. We need one another to survive. The only hope for reward is working together.
I didn't see Scrappy over there doing much while that thing was squeezing the life out of us.
How was I supposed to backstab a creature like that? I was completely out of my element. Set up all wrong.
You could have at least tried, instead of fiddling around like a scared rat. Scrap stands up and looks Crag in the eye. He displays his dagger, coated in purplish black poison, and begins spinning and twirling it with deadly precision.
It's not a good idea to keep insulting me. This is the first and last time that I will warn you.
Hey, ease up there, buddy. I'm not trying to start a fight. Crag tries his best to conceal the effectiveness of the rogue's threat. The party trades glances in silence for a few seconds. Hey, come on, guys. Let's get out of this room. It smells like an ogre's ballsack. The party moves to the entrance chamber to rest and gather their thoughts.